Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. How are we all doing? Are we all well? I see many friends. Many friends be good. See Weird, Kira, Chibi, Oobs, Crow, Clamp. Probably more. I'm bad. How are we all doing? We all well? We all good? No replacing L's for W's in this chat. That is a bannable offence. So yeah. Keep getting emails from the people who I made the stickers with. You're doing adequate. Good to go. Study shading, colouring, Ornstein. Good luck. And you have the wonderful news that it's gonna kill you. Oh no, Plamps, I'm going to have to take away your moderator status. No. Oh, it's a shame. Yeah. Forest of Doom. So, little reminder for those of you who may be new or haven't been here or haven't caught up or anything along those lines. The basic gist of it is as follows. We play, or you play, I should say, a character called Pal, little goblin friend with a recorder, who has been tasked by a dying dwarf called Big Leg, or has been asked, rather than tasked, with finding the Hammer of Gillibrand, which is the only thing that will bring the dwarves together to save them against the trolls. The hammer was stolen by a rival clan of dwarves, and flown off on some death hawks, which is a great name, where it was dropped in the forest, found by two other goblins, and split in half, and who knows where those two halves are now. All we do know is that the head is made of bronze and the handle's made of ebony, I think, if I remember correctly, and both of them have the letter G inscribed. And that's what we're basically trying to find. What's happened so far is we met Nostromo, we found an evil woman, got bitten by a squirrel, said hello to some friendly tree people and sent them on their way to help other people, made friends with a barbarian, got shot by some hillmen, bitten by an eel, almost bitten by vampire bats, shot in the other shoulder by a gremlin, possibly a gremlin, we didn't actually see, slashed in the ankles by two gremlins, hit by a cloud that just arrived and left, and then gave 2 arrows to a person who'd said they'd turn us to stone if we didn't. So, yeah. That's basically all that's happened so far. I can show you a map and all that sort of stuff, but yeah. We still haven't found anything to do with the hammer yet. That's the main thing. That's not the main thing. The main thing is the adventure, and Pal's having fun, apart from getting shot. So, oh hello, don't want to do that. That's Infinity, that is. And Photoshop's being weird. I haven't used Photoshop for a while. Go away, go away. I'm professional, me. I can't remember what it is that does this. There's a thing that does this, and it's annoying. Oh, is it that? It might be that. Hang on. No. Technical difficulties, as per usual. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there we go. There we are. Also, it's the wrong screen. That's the one I want. Right. So, in our inventory as well, in your inventory, I should say, is a sword, naturally, a potion of anti-poison, boots of leaping, rod of water finding, holy water, rope of climbing, potion of luck, the squirrel helmet of bitchin' stats, as named by you, an arrow, now you used to have 3, but you gave 2 of them away, a torch, which I assume is still lit, although it's probably going to go out soon, a necklace, which is worth 9 gold pieces, if I recall, yes, a bar of gold, which is worth 21 gold pieces. Those values have been added to the gold count. Some bits of clay from a smashed ceramic figurine of a hand. And a small hammer, which smashed the figurine of the hand. So, yeah. That's where we are. And regarding where we are here. So we started at Nostromo's Tower, Evil Woman, Squirrel, Tree Men, Barbarian, Leeches, Blood Eels, Bats, Hillmen, there was Daffodil, the Well, where we found all the gremlins, Angry Cloud, and then Aragon, which is where we recently left. So, yeah, where do you want to go now? It's up to you. I might as well start this. Hopefully this works. Yeah, it does work. So where now? So we have the possibility of going north. We have this crossroads here, which has the a smooch stand that's just abandoned there, unfortunately. There's the Daffodil Junction. There's the junction with crop circles. There's a junction down by the Barbarian, one by the trees, another one by the trees, Evil Woman, and back at Yostromo's Tower. So there's lots of places. We can't keep going west. This is a dead end. We can go back into the building if you like, but and say hello to Aragon. I'm sure he'll be pleased with that. But west is left, yeah, cool. Try harder. You're trying to cut through the undergrowth of the Forest of Doom. You cannot tell what the Forest of Doom what to do. North, I guess. You don't have to be that defeatist straight away, you know? Canada? Would that be north? Possibly. By the way, I would just like to say that you guys... I mapped out for my own personal satisfaction so that we could go south at any point when the book wouldn't let us usually. I mapped out a lot of where the junctions match up in this game. And I did about 75% of the book. Because I thought, oh, that'll cover us for a while. You guys just beelined for the area of the map I hadn't done. So I have finished it now. Spent a little bit of time today doing that. And also drawing the thumbnails of the items in our inventory. The gold bar, it's the necklace, the gold bar, the bits of clay, and the hammer. The hammer is quite small, by the way. You can't use it as a weapon. Right, so what have we got? Can we go back to the place where we met Cloud and go north from there? I suppose that's what most people mean by north. So I think, yeah, we got 4 votes for north. A couple of them are rather lackadaisical, but nonetheless, they are for north. Have no fear, you are here. Hello, Dark. How are we doing? We also have one for Canada. Unfortunately, I don't think I can do that. But regardless, let's go north. And you know what's north? You'll never guess. You will. Hang on. Let me get the right colour. That's good. I even bookmarked the page so that I knew exactly where to go. Right. I will just say while I'm writing this. No, reading. That's the word I'm looking for. Reading this description, east or west? Also, what's at this junction? I know, there's loads of crossroads, don't worry. Once we've mapped out most of the crossroads, we can just do things by identifiers, you know? Release the bees. Okay, there's lots of bees here. That's what's at this crossroads. There's just loads of bees just sort of hanging around. They're not particularly violent, they're just sort of there. Lots of bees' nests up in trees. Lots of honey. Pal knows better than to actually try and take that honey because A, it's poisonous, and B, the bees attack you. Never eat anything plucked from the Darkroot Forest. Not the Darkroot Forest, that's Bloodborne, isn't it? Not Bloodborne, Dark Souls. I've lost it today, it's just... None of my faculties are working correctly. We don't have the ability to summon demons, alas. Oh, that music's getting a bit high again. Turn it down with Dad. One of these times it'll work. You don't even know what you're doing. You're just saying random syllables in the hope that something will happen. Anyway, for an actual description of what's happening here, Pal walks north, slightly dejected from having to give 2 arrows away to somebody who said they'd turn him to stone. Pal walks north across the Green Valley, because we're in a sort of valley in the middle of the forest at the moment. However, you start to see the dark green wall of Darkwood Forest looming up before you. It's Darkwood, not Darkroot. The path leads straight into the thick undergrowth, and soon you're walking between dark trees and thorny bushes. You're now back into the thick of it. It's dark and quiet on the path, and the path abruptly ends in a junction full of bees that goes east or west. So we are now back in the forest. The plains have ended. The forest begins anew. Oh yeah, I can do vertical lines in this. Haven't used Photoshop for a while. So I think the forest just sort of has like a kind of... It sort of rings around. Like that, and then this is the plains in here. This is where the hills were. Bunch of hills. This is where the ring sort of begins, as it were. So these are all plains. Yeah, so it's fairly symmetrical. Sort of forest at start and beginning, plains with hills in the middle. Okay, right, we have 2 votes for East. 1 for Release the Bees, 1 for Smooch a Bee, 1 for Summon Demon, 1 for Make Friends with Bees. I suppose Pal attempts to placate the bees, but the moment Pal attempts to go near any of the hives, they buzz furiously and attempt to get him away. They're not necessarily violent in and of themselves, they just, they're very territorial. And they don't see you as one of them because you're much bigger and green. So Pal, alas, has to give up on the dreams of placating the bees and or smooch them. Just leave them alone. Just let them be. And instead, Pal decides to head east. Precisely in the direction that I had not mapped out prior to this morning. That is east, isn't it? Yeah, cool. For those of you who are new to the stream, I'm bad with directions. Or east and west in particular. Oh, marvellous. Right, cool. Okay. Right, let me just check my notes. Okie dokie then. Right. However did you possibly guess? Pal walks for quite some time through the thick undergrowth, batting their way through all these sorts of things, and they find another crossroads, one that heads north and south. Only here there is a little copse, a little area of chopped down trees, implying that they've been chopped down freshly because the logs are still just sort of laying around. So there's clearly some form of axe-wielding life around here. Let me reset the vote. Now let me have a look at the map. There are a lot of crossroads in this game, but I do honestly believe like you've taken the path that has the most. I really do think you have. I mean, there are a lot more, don't get me wrong, but you definitely beeline for them. Beeline. So yeah, this is the copse crossroads. Some chopped down trees. So it's just starting to regrow a little bit. I definitely need to make this map bigger again. No, I can do that with this. Slight convenience on the part of Photoshop here. What? No, that's not the tool. Probably don't need quite that much space, but we'll see. It's better to have it than not. What do we got? We have look at logs, real good. Search for Atlas. Look at logs from a distance, all suspicious like. Pal is stumped. Stumped. Jokes. So Pal wishes to investigate the logs. Pal looks at these logs, and they are remarkably unsurprising. Remarkably unremarkable. Hang on, what page are we on? Oh, hello. There goes my phone. I should probably draw Pal at some point, shouldn't I? So, if we're going to get crossroads, let's try and make him interesting, shall we? We've got to try and remember how to draw Pal. I always make the ears get bigger and bigger every time. Oops. This is one reason I want to stop Photoshop. Oh, blimey, Frame Man. Frame Man is getting involved as well. How dare they? That's a lot of drop frames, my word. What's happening here? Let me try and sort some of that out. There you go. Okay, that seems to have placated Frame Man slightly. Yes, the Frame Man is being a bit of a bother right now. But seems to have calmed down just for a moment. No, my computer really doesn't like me today. That's fine. I can... Why is it doing it now? Most peculiar, most peculiar. Miss, shush. We do not expect things from you. We are delighted when they arrive, but we do not demand them from you. Also, hello, how are you doing? Oh, my computer's very grumpy. So there's the squirrel helmet. It's a bit bent and battered at this point. Ooh, do try and be kind. Computer, that'll be grand. I wonder if Clip Studio will be better than this. I have done a lot of drawing today, so I'm a little warmed up at the very least. Although I have been drawing... I have not been drawing goblins. So a bit of practice will be required. We also have our lovely tattered cape, which we picked up last time, which was just a curtain, but we took it with us for some reason. And by for some reason I mean because you guys. Balance too tall. All of the votes have turned into nice things about Miss. Things didn't go as planned, but here with you lot, which is a nice surprise. Well, hopefully we can do something to make your day a little brighter. And again, for reiteration, absolutely do not worry about getting art done on time, whatever that means. I only had 3 fingers, yeah, sorry. Take my own advice. Look, I like having a schedule. Although I am considering taking a week off at some point. Be nice. Just to reevaluate precisely what I'm doing and what's worth it and what's not worth it anymore. It's complicated. But not for you to know of right now. Standing on a log. So Pal is looking at some logs and ascertains that there really isn't much particularly remarkable about them. They've been chopped down not too long ago. Not immediately, but nonetheless not that long ago. By the way, none of this is in the book. Just trying to make these crossroads more interesting, you know. But I am doing it based around things that I know are in the nearby vicinity, so that I can give you a vague idea as to what the crossroads might lead to. Actually, it made more sense if that was a stump. Yeah, anyway, so Pal is looking at these things. They're here, they're somewhat unremarkable, but as Pal is listening to it, Pal does hear the sound of, well, not entirely sure what the sound is, but it sounds like a very loud thumping coming from the north. That's how perspective works, isn't it? So yeah, and there's also another bee here. It came from the other crossroads. Alright, will do when it Photoshop catches up. In the meantime, how are we all doing? No, hello, that is not the line I drew. I need to delete some layers. Is it because the map's so big? That might have something to do with it. I was going to look at the the votes, and I realised they were all talking about mist. Right, so... So far, we've only encountered one thing that might be a friend, and you need to throw a stone at it. True. I mean, the bees could be friends if you get to know them a bit longer, but unfortunately, you don't have time. Because, you know... Also, the tree men turned into friends, mainly because you made them, but... It's a little bee. That should have started a vote. Hang on. Right, so just to reiterate, nothing particularly remarkable about the logs, apart from the fact that they've been cut down not too long ago. And to the north, as you're standing there contemplating it, Pal hears a rhythmic thumping sound. Oh, why does that not work? Come on. Oh, it worked that time, when I didn't even bother to write a good title. So, just as a reminder, you are at a north-south crossroads here. Here we are. Here's the copse. You came from the B crossroads. You decided to head east from there. Clouds, the Smooch crossroad, the Daffodil crossroad, crop circles, field, trees, more trees, evil woman, Yestromo. More like a stumping sound. Ha ha ha. I appreciate puns. It's been a long day of drawing. Miss, did you copy that out letter for letter? I literally just mashed the keyboard because the voting thing didn't work twice. And I was like, is this even working? And yes, it is. It worked on the time I just wrote nonsense. Well, I admire your zeal, your tenacity. Okay, everyone seems to want to go north at the very least. Apart from Plamps, who seems to want to go to isn't that that volcano in Iceland that went off like 10 years ago? Eyjafjallajökull. Apologies to anyone from Iceland. Right, so north, but in a gravely voice for some reason. Oh, gravelly. Oh, gravely. North. In a world. I can't do that today. My voice is weird, so apologies. Today, I mean. It's weird in general, but... So, what am I doing? We're heading north. Pal travels north. Walking further north into the undergrowth. And as they travel north, the thumping appears to grow louder and louder as they're getting closer. Pal stops for a second and realizes that it's getting louder regardless of whether or not they're moving forwards. And it soon becomes apparent that those sounds are footsteps heading in your direction. There's plenty of foliage either side if you wish to hide. So that whatever it is that's coming towards you can just walk past. Or you can confront it head on. In whatever manner you so desire. It's not clapping, it's footsteps. That didn't work either, did it? Oh, for God's sake. Foots! There we go. It works occasionally. My system needs work. This is probably the time I should draw something, but we haven't actually decided what to do yet, so... Okie dokie then, cool. Do your best Dick Turpin impression. I think that will go down with something whose footsteps you heard from quite a long way away. You still haven't seen the thing. So what we got? We've got 2 for hide, 1 for release the bees, 1 for hide in trees. Not in bushes, in trees specifically. 1 meet large thumping friend, and 1 do our best Dick Turpin impression. Okay, so that seems to be a hide, generally speaking. Doot doot. Alas, that came in too late, but I think that goes against the spirit of hiding. If you start deciding to play the recorder in the process. His bent ears are getting longer every time I draw them. I think those are still normal. How do hands work? They work like that, don't they? Oh yeah, I was going to try and sort out things, wasn't I? Give me a second. One momento. Things will come up. Don't worry about that. Trying to speed things up if I can. Mainly by doing things like this. Gone. How big is this document? That's not that big. Yeah, I don't know why Photoshop's messing around. Right, so... Oh, go away. Ah, shush. So, Pal hides in the bushes, and the thumping sound continues to get louder and louder. And before long, what is making the sound appears in eye shot. Is that a word? It's like earshot, but eye shot. Because it's Photoshop. Yes, indeed. Like I said, I'm apprehensive to do these streams on Clip Studio for now, but because I don't know how that will handle the load. So, but it might be worth it if Photoshop's just going to keep messing around. That said, I'm not going to have Photoshop for very long, so I'm not going to have much of a choice. What do we see walk by? It sort of depends what you mean by walk by, to be honest, because what you see is a foot. With suspiciously similar boots to you. But that's mainly due to my lack of drawing ability. Let's have this sort of tied up at the sides, just for a bit of variety. Come on, come on. Hurry up, Photoshop. We didn't have any of this trouble when I was doing the Final Fantasy VII one. I wonder what it is about this. Strange. I used to have a lot more going on with that. I used to have like overlays and colour changes and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so you see a big foot fall down in front of you, followed by another leg which eventually stamps down. Boom. And you make the educated guess that this is some sort of forest giant. You have heard of these things. And yeah. It's just stomping its way through the forest. You can choose to come out and say hello, although Pal does know that they're not particularly friendly. Or you can continue to hide until it goes past. Atlas but big. And if you want to wait until it goes past, feel free to tell me what to do next. So say like hide and then north or whatever. Yeah, apologies for my voice. I'm not sure what's happening to it today. As I say, I don't really speak much during the day, so most of the time I speak, it's on stream. So, yeah. Can we ghost ride this whip? What? I like the urgency with which you capitalise that, Kiro. Let's see what else we can add to this friendly giant. I say friendly. I don't know why his knee's so high up. Let's bring that down a bit. To be fair, I'm not a master of giant anatomy, but don't think that's right somehow. As he's got extremely thin legs, but the knee in the background doesn't really sort of give that away. Let's say he's got a little bag here, some stitching. There's also, you can see, sort of attached to the belt is some sort of large club, And by club, it's basically just the trunk of a tree. Guess there were a lot of tree trunks to the old giants. I didn't actually read the passage, did I? Oh, that's because we sort of took a hybrid approach. That's fine. That's fine. I'll give you a little description of the thing. Of the giant. Looking up, Pal sees that the leg belongs to a man, extraordinarily tall man. He's wearing brown canvas clothing and fur boots. Gotta change that. They appear to be in a hurry and they're crashing through the undergrowth as though it wasn't there. It's a forest giant. Scary times. So let's change those to fur boots, shall we? Enjoying a lot of fur today. A lot of fur and feathers. For reasons that should become apparent tomorrow. And also some highly stylized stuff, because I needed a change. Also making that, reading that Dishonored art book, Dishonored 2 art book, has made me want to get back into portrait stuff. I like portrait art. I'm bad at it, but I like it. Which means I need to practice. The Sydney's here. Okay, so... Business giant, yes, he's in a hurry. So you've got to make your decision quick, by which I mean I've been drawing for 5 minutes. The votes are as follows. There is no vote that has more than one vote. Or no option, I should say. Continue hiding until it passes, then continue north. Hide from Giatan. Hide and north even though it might be Atlas. There is no sign of an axe immediately, so it's unlikely. Hide, then north. Doot Atlas's favourite song. Release the bees. We haven't captured the bees. Climb on top of Boot. Or hitch a ride. So I think there's 2 for hitching a ride on the giant. But 4 for hiding and 3 of them for subsequently going north. So you wait until the giant passes. Fortunately, the glimmering of your helmet does not attract the attention of the giant. They have business to attend to. They have presumably more trees to chop down. And as a consequence, you come out of the bushes eventually and make your way north, hoping that this is not one of many, that you haven't come across some sort of colony. Do also remember that the giant was heading south from here. They're not going to disappear, so be careful if you want to come back through this area. So you continue heading north. So here's the giant, which I will represent with a boot. That was fur, wasn't it? Also, I feel like if it was Atlas, it probably wouldn't have been just sort of breaking foliage as you're going along, you know? Why is a giant chopping trees that are less than half his size? I mean, we don't put entire trees on a fire. We have to cut our wood down. The giant's lucky. Most wood is already smaller. Gotta catch a bus. Have fun with the bus. I don't know why I said that. Oh, because Weird said it. Yeah, I'm just stealing other people's ideas. Right, so you continue north. From the Giante. Let's see what there is. Okie dokie. So, you head north. Pal heads north. The sound of footsteps gets ever quieter as they continue north. And as the path goes north, it turns sharply to the west. I sincerely hope that is west. Sharply to the west, you're still in the undergrowth, and you follow this new course. And as you go through, you start hearing more wildlife, more just sounds of birds and creatures and skittering in the forest. In particular, you hear a lot of cawing, a lot of squawking, a lot of bird noises. Eventually, these sounds get so loud that you start hearing flappings of wings, and Pal looks up and sees above them 3 large birds immediately trying to swoop down upon them. Their beaks and talons look razor sharp, and Pal only has a few seconds to make a decision as to what to do, as they are attacked by 3 death hawks.
Well, that wasn't necessary of you, but you have my thanks.
Hello, Warlock Hemlock. Thank you very much for the follow. Hopefully some of this makes sense to you. We are, if you are not familiar, we are playing The Forest of Doom, which is a choose-your-own-adventure book, and by we I mean chat. And you can vote by typing !vote followed by a space followed by your option. Hello, how you doing? So yeah, we are now being confronted by death hawks. What do you want to do? Do you want to attack? Do you want to run? Do you want to... Cool. So I can't remember what page that was, but that was the thing. What page are we on now? We are on 231. Hello, Hemlock. And welcome. I know how to draw. It's fine. Go away. Is the torch lit? I think the torch is no longer lit because you had to hide from the giant, and it's difficult to hide from a giant with a lit torch. Particularly in undergrowth, because otherwise you burn everything down. So you had to, unfortunately, extinguish the torch. You can relight it when you find a fire source, or when you camp and make a fire source of your own. But for the moment, you do not have a lit torch. Also the grotty cape. How do I draw a death hawk? That's a good question. I have been drawing birds all day, but I have not been drawing normal birds all day. That's a seagull. What do hawks look like? They're probably nice. Release the bees. Oh, now you're on the release the bees. This is just a seagull, isn't it? The death hawks may or may not be seagulls. How to draw a death hawk. Step 1, draw Grandpappy. Step 2, turn into death hawk. Fair enough. Or hawk with a cowl. I could do that. I don't know why it's not looking at pal. This is awful. What is this? I should practice. But then again, I have no idea what direction you're going to go, so... It's difficult to know what to practice. Got very sharp talons. It's characteristic of a death hawk. The disproportionately large talons. Why are we shielding eyes? What? Ah, Warlock's a friend of Weird. Ah, marvellous. Sorry, I missed that bit. Cool. Well, welcome to the fold. Oh, because of beaks. Okay, that's fair enough. Do my usual drawing birds position. I tend to draw goofy birds rather than birds of prey. Little did you know you have friends outside the gang. Heavens. I feel so deceived. Well, you're very welcome. Hello. Anybody who is a friend of Weird necessarily must be a good person, so... And here I was thinking I was attracting new people to the audience just out of Twitch alone, but no, apparently it's just second-hand friends, honestly. I don't mean that. Do you know what is both fun and frustrating to draw lightning? Yeah, I can imagine. Like, if you're going for, like, photorealistic lightning, oh yeah. And then, who was it who suggested... Alright, 3 Deathhawks. What are we doing with them? Was like, OMG, why is Cry using your actual name? What did you do wrong? What? Oh, yes, of course, yeah. Right. Did lightning drawing you actually liked and got 0 attention? It made you hella sad. That's how I felt about that. What was it? The Abe's Odyssey one? The Abe's Odyssey Bioshock crossover? Which came immediately after the Willow picture, which got thousands of likes. And the Abe's Odyssey one got like 10. It's like, oh, I spent a lot of time on that one. I'm proud of it. Oh, it happens. The world is strange. Especially the world of the internet and social media. How are we doing? What have we got? Vote for Deathhawks. Shield Eyes and Poke with Sword, 2 votes. Befriend the Beautiful Burb, 2 votes. Attack with Sword, 1. Oops All Pranks, 1. And ask if Bird knows Grandpappy because we're friends of Grandpappy, so maybe this could be easily solved. Possibly. It seems sword poking is in order. Oh yeah, of course, yes. Oops, definitely. Share art. Do that. Right, so sword poking. Is Pal left-handed or right-handed? I forget. I'll assume right-handed for now. I don't know if we ever particularly... how do hands work? Looks like the sword from The Hobbit. I think I always had sort of like a motif like that. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've drawn this sword. What are we doing? Guess we get a kill Crow for cosplaying as a Deathhawk. Yeah, so you are allowed to fight them one at a time. We shall do the standard system of fighting. So for those of you who are not aware of how the fighting system works in this game, you have a skill value, which is 8. So his skill value. You are on 8. And you have a stamina value, which is your health, basically. We have 15 right now. So this is... This is Pal, and this is Hawk. Oh, hello, what am I doing? Oh, hey, I have an error message for that, apparently. I forgot I set that up. It's been a while since I integrated that. Right, so the way this works, you have skill, you have stamina. The enemies also have skill and stamina. In this particular instance, you can fight them one at a time. The first one has 4 and 4, 4 skill, 4 stamina. You roll 2d6 for you and 2d6 for the enemy and add that to your skill. Whoever's skill is highest will deal 2 damage to the opponent, which you can modify by spending luck if you so desire. Either doing more damage to your attack or less damage hits you, as it were. And you keep doing that until the thing dies. So for example, the first 2d6 we had for the enemy was 1 and 4, that's 5. Add that to the skill of 4, that gives us 9. Then we had another 2d6 for 6 and 2, that's 8. Add to the 8 is 16. 16 is larger than 9, so we attack the bird. And we deal 2 damage, so that's sort of crosses us off down to 2. And that's how the fighting system works. It's relatively straightforward. You can choose at any point to use a bit of luck to either try and do more damage or take less damage. It does spend the luck, and you have to roll 2d6 under your luck, which is currently 5. So it's unlikely, but in dire straits, you can do what you like. Then what have we got there? So that's 7, which 4 plus 7 is 11. Then 10 for 18, and we do damage again. And that is the first Hawk dead. That's why they're called Deathhawks, they die. Right, second Deathhawk. If you wish to continue fighting, you can run away at any point. That is something I give you the option to do. You're more than welcome to leave. This one has, what, 4 skill again, and 3 stamina, so slightly less. Oh, I also forgot, we add 1 to our skill rolls because we have the helmet. Our squirrel helmet of bitchin' stats, as was named by you guys, which we stole from an angry squirrel, gives us +1 to our skill rolls in battle. So doesn't matter now because we won both, but we'll get there eventually. Can we befriend the Deathhawk that looks like Grandpappy? So I suppose we're going to go from sort of, you know, left to right. So this one's dead. Oh, hello. Thank you. You don't think running from something called a Deathhawk will end well? I mean, they dropped the hammer, you know? It was Deathhawks who took the hammer away. It's not necessarily these ones. But, so they're not entirely competent. You don't want to kill Grandpappy? I mean, it might not be Grandpappy. You will drink this cup of poison. So yeah, you if you want to keep fighting, you need to roll the dice. I'm not going to roll for you because this is your decision. You can run away at any time, and if I just keep rolling dice, you're not going to get a chance, are you? So what if it is Grandpappy? These are hawks. They are not black in coloration. And as a consequence, Pal can tell that these are not crows. So that's a lot of rolling. What do we got? We have we have a 5 and a 3. So a 5 goes here for a 9, then a 3 plus 1 is 4, 12, because we have our plus 1 modifier, I should say, plus 1 modifier. So that's an attack. Brings down to 1. And then after that was a 9. So that brings us to, no, 13. I can maths. I have a PhD in maths, it's fine. And we need to roll for you, if you wish to roll, or you can run away, because if you think 13 is scary. Check yourself before I wreck yourself. And there's 11. Plus 1 is 12. It brings us up to 20. Attack, dead. So the Deathhawks are relatively straightforward to deal with, it seems. What's dead? Keep saying I have this PhD. Look, I did algebra, right? Not an awful lot of mental arithmetic required for that. Okay, so what's that? So this one's slightly more skillful because it has a scythe, and has a little more health than the previous one. Cool. So we're still on. Well, functionally we're on 9, and we still have 15 health. I did maths, not maths. Yes, I did maths, not arithmetic. There is a big difference. Maths being a very wide discipline, arithmetic being a very small part of it. It's like the discussion we had in the in the Discord when someone said, "Isn't algebra moving things around?" And I said, "No, that's an algebra. That's a particular algebra." So we rolled a 2. That doesn't bode well for Scythe Friend because we've already won. They can't possibly lose that one. 2 damage down, so that's just sort of default 9 plus. And then a 5, so 10. We're rolling 2d6, so we can't possibly roll less. 9 plus is going to be at least 11, so with the 2d6 added to it. So that one died without us even really doing anything. It just kept accidentally hitting itself with its own scythe. And that one's dead too. Right, so Pal has successfully fended off the Deathhawks far more easily than Gremlins. I vote that we just call these Hawks and that the Gremlins are called Death Gremlins, but anyway. You don't know how to think of percentages because accounting, so you're hardly one to talk. Yeah, fair enough. I'm fine with the one thing about percentage. I know I've said this a lot of times, but it's my pet peeve. Is because education systems tend to like to segment the learning system. There's not a lot of overlap between subjects, and I feel like English or whatever language it is you happen to speak should be integrated within maths, because most things that are named in maths are named for a good reason. And when I worked at my secondary school, I had too many people come up to me and ask, or my old secondary school, I should say, too many children come up to me and ask, "I don't know how to work out percentages from fractions, can you tell me?" And it's like, yeah, exactly, Oops. It's per cent. It literally in the word, it's per 100. It's right there. And the fact that nobody bothered to teach that, it really, really annoyed me. So yeah, Pal's eyes remain intact, going back to the game. All of the Hawks are dead. And yeah, so they are thwacked out of the sky. One of them impaled on a scythe that you didn't notice at the beginning of the fight, but it's there. Okay, so if we win, we do this. Did I break Crow? Sorry. You just learn what percent comes from. I know! It's something. It should be the first thing you teach about percent. It should be the first thing. It's like, I had to work it out myself. I never got taught it. It's like per millicent. Yeah, there's per millicent. I've heard percent cent, which just sounds awkward, really. Which I'm assuming is like per 10,000 or something. Sort of makes sense. Well, shouldn't it just be per milli rather than per millicent? Millicent sounds like 100,000 rather. You know, it's like billion. How billion means something different in English than it does in American. You're goofing in translation? Oh, that's fair enough. That's absolutely fair enough. Don't worry. What thing? Yes. Okay. Pal decides to look at the body of the Deathhawks and sees that around the neck of one of them is a small silver band. Here it is. Small silver band. It glimmers in the night. It's not night. Come on, do a glimmer. Sorry, I tried to do that while holding the book under my chin for some reason. As a small silver band around the neck, definitely neck. The book didn't say legs and I misread. It's definitely on the neck. And there's a small inscription on it, which says, "Death awaits you." You can take the band if you want, but regardless, we need to move on. So do you wish to continue heading west? Or do you wish to go back somewhere? Hello to death. I do like that drawing. That's quite fun. So, I'm drawing on the wrong layer, aren't I? Yes. So the path continues to the west. This is where we found the Deathhawks. I need to reset the thing, sorry. Right, so you can take the band that says "Death awaits you" if you so desire, small silver band. But regardless, we need to work out where to go. I need to start amalgamating these votes. We're already cursed? Are we cursed? We have a cool helmet. Just a reminder, there is an inscription on the band that says "Death awaits you." I don't need to keep track of page numbers anymore because I have my overall guide. Is there a Tales So Far or wiki somewhere? This is only the 5th stream. Okay, so the basic gist is, if you don't know, we're playing Pal, Goblin. Pal. We, happily adventuring and playing the recorder, we stumbled upon a dying dwarf who says that the dwarven factions are warring amongst each other because they have lost the hammer of Gillibrand, and the trolls are coming, and he's desperately trying to find the hammer to bring the dwarves back together. And he believes that the hammer is in Darkwood Forest. Big Leg promptly dies, giving us all of his stuff and tells us to try and go off and do things. We agree, and we go to Yastromo's tower. Yastromo being a wise, wizardy kind of person who sells us a bunch of stuff and tells us that the hammer is indeed in the forest, as far as he's aware. It was taken by Deathhawks and dropped in the forest somewhere. 2 goblins found it and split it in half, the hammer head and the hammer handle. And they have been taken who knows where. So that's basically the kind of gist of the setup of the game. Thus far, we've found a house with an evil woman in it. That's all we know. It had an evil woman. That is explicitly what the book said. We found a tree with a helmet, which is what we were currently wearing. And the squirrel bit us because we threw a rock at it. Tree people who we made go away with a potion of plant control. There was a barbarian staked to the ground who we freed and who then promptly chased us, trying to attack us with stakes. We got bitten by some eels in a river, and then took the eel carcass and used it a couple of times. The first time was to get rid of some vampire bats who decided to try and attack us. We got shot in the shoulder by some hillmen for literally no reason. They just shot us and laughed, and we walked away. Then we went in a well. There was a big adventure in the well. Lots of gremlins. We got some gold, a necklace, some shards of clay from a statue of a hand. and a cool cape, which is made of an old curtain. But that's basically what happened in the well. Lots of stuff in the well. We then travelled up here to get struck by lightning by one singular cloud in an otherwise completely clear sky that came to us, struck us, and then left. We then found the house of Aragon, I think the name was. We entered upon his request, and he said, "How dare you enter my house? I'm going to turn you to stone unless you give me stuff." So we gave him stuff. And then promptly defaced the front of his house as we left with a lovely epithet. And that's where we left off last time, and today we've met bees, giants, and deathhawks. That's basically the gist of it. If there's anything unclear, do tell me, but generally speaking, that's I have all of the VODs are archived, because we did the Final Fantasy VII draw through, which was very fun, but I didn't archive any of it, and I'm now sad I lost it all. So, so all of these VODs will be archived. If you wish to catch up, you can probably skip through it or play it at faster speed or whatever. There's a lot of sitting around waiting for votes to happen. But yeah. Right, so what have we got? Leave band, continue west. Join band. What? Leave band and continue west. No comma in that one, and continue west. Okay, so generally speaking, we want to continue west. Let's continue west, shall we? I can probably sort some stuff out to make things a bit faster for the next section, I think. Where are we? Yeah, cool. I forgot what this page was. One second. Okay, so, Pal continues west and finds Kel Surprise, a crossroads, but this crossroads actually seems rather more significant than a lot of previous ones. It continues west, but it also travels north. But you also see that this is the end of the dense vegetation. It's starting to clear. There's just some sort of sparse trees here and there, and you can see in the distance, not too far away, the smoke of civilization. You can see smoke coming from people's houses, presumably Stonebridge, your destination, not too far away to the north. Can we summon a demon yet? Not at the moment. There we go. So yeah, there's a few trees sort of lying around, but you don't see an awful lot. There's also a little sort of clearing. There's a small cave that you can sort of see off into the distance. But generally speaking, you're getting quite near the end of the forest. Let's put something here for the purposes of. I've been drawing on the wrong layer again, I think. Yeah, cool. That's fine. That's on the right layer. Apparently there's also some stuff down here that's on the wrong layer. That's better. So it's crossroads. What's interesting about this crossroads? There's the, I suppose it's the fact that it's the end. This is where the thick part of the forest starts to thin out a little bit. North, you guess, but you want a demon. Pal has heard tell of things akin to demons living in this forest, having lived on the outskirts. Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? I'm an idiot, don't worry. So, you know, adventure enough, you may come across demons, whether or not you have control of them. But living around these parts, it's difficult not to hear stories and know whether or not they're true. But Pal definitely remembers being told of such things. Okay, so we're travelling north. We continue north. North, north, north. I didn't save my page, but that's fine. I have my handy diagram. Right, cool. So Pal continues north out of the undergrowth. And opens out into a small clearing. The trees nearby are much sparser and thinner and less healthy looking. To Pal's right, they see a pile of branches, some grass, pieces of rag, just outside a small cave. Not a deep cave, but large enough. Sort of a recess in the rock, let's say. Amongst the debris and old bones scattered around, you catch sight of something glimmering in the sunlight. Do you wish to investigate this? Amongst all the bones and the tattered rags and such? Yeah, so you just find something shiny just outside the cave. Oops, come on. Again, it's not really a cave, it's just a sort of hole in the rock. See a shiny thing. It's sort of some bits of trees. Oh, also, Warlock, or Hemlock, I don't know how you wish to be pronounced. Lock. If you don't have better Twitch TV, that is an extension you can get for your browser, which allows you to see additional emotes that we have on this channel. If you have it, marvelous. If you don't, it's a thing you can get. It's no demand, but just thought I'd let you know. So, for example, if you can't see this. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot that post twice. Just yeah. Why does this look like a new Pokemon design? Sort of little... You know how they always do sort of esoteric rock-looking Pokemon? There's just this sort of thing here, and it's got like pen malfunction. There we are. It's got a rock holders for feet. You know what I mean? I think it started with like Rog and Roller. That was an odd design, and they just sort of carried it on from there. I'm not making it a parsnip one, it's fine. Right, so what have we got? We have 2 votes for Investigate. 1 for Examine Bones, 1 for Hot Damn Look at the Bones, and 1 for Investigate Glimmer. It seems like we have 3 votes for Investigate Glimmer, given that the question was, do you want to look at the shiny thing? So we investigate the Glimmer, which I kind of hoped you didn't, for reasons which will become apparent. But more closely, if you want to look more closely, go to 57. Right. Pal walks over to investigate the lair and whatever it was that was shiny on the floor, but is suddenly made aware of the fact that it's gotten a little darker than you anticipated. You haven't actually entered the cave yet, and yet the sun appears to have disappeared. Before Pal has the opportunity to look up, they hear a very loud roar and look up to see something that looks suspiciously like a dragon, standing on top of the rock with a green scaly skin flying down to its lair. A bolt of fire shoots from its mouth towards you. We must now test your luck. Roll 2d6. Because there's a big ball of fire heading towards you. Or improvise. If you want to improvise, if you think you can get out of this somehow. We won't improvise with a vote. It's fine. 2. Marvellous. You have to roll under your luck. So you got lucky. Congratulations. You are lucky. Hooray. The firebolt misses and explodes by your feet because you're fortunate. You have to roll under luck. Don't worry about it. So yeah, congratulations. You dodged out of the way of the fireball. Now, you must deal with the consequences. The creature landing in front of Pal. Your stream crashed. Oh no, you missed the wyvern. because the creature that lands in front of you is a wyvern. It's looking at you, and it's ready to open its mouth again to let out another burning roar. It's about 10 meters long, and its thick scales look like they'd be very hard to penetrate with a sword. What would you like to do? There we go. Right, so I now need to draw a wyvern. You know what I'm like drawing wyverns, or dragons, or such. Not as bad as horses, but nobody show warlock are my horse drawing. 1, 3, 2. That's what we're at. Yeah, I wanted to give you a clue as to kind of what was coming up here, but I didn't want to explicitly say, the trees are burned. Be careful. So I ended up just saying, there's not many trees around. They look a bit sort of less healthy than the other ones. I love it when Kira gets excited. Everything's got talons in this, don't worry. Don't worry about it. I don't really know what the difference is between... Oh, isn't a wyvern... Dragons have 4 arms, but wyverns don't, yeah? Isn't that a thing with a wyvern? I appear to be drawing a dinosaur. It's fine. How does this go? So sort of like, there's that bit, and then there's sort of what's coming off that, isn't it? That's sort of how it works. Oh, now I've got to do the head. I hate drawing dragon heads and stuff. Let's try and do this properly. Is that music quiet again? Oh, that's annoying. But you'll go wait for the stream for 1 minute. Oh, so I have this image of Kira in my head as just being this sort of very nice, calm, sort of calm supporting figure in the background, just sort of happily seeing what's going on. But between the dragon streams and these streams, I love the enthusiasm. It's very cool. Big fan. Particularly large head. Don't think that's correct. Although a longer neck might be in order. This looks completely off balance. My apology. And the anatomy is just all over the place. Look, I don't draw wyverns particularly often. Oh, hello. And by not particularly often, I think the last time I drew one was for the Foggate comic. Back in Taurus Demon, which I think was the second one. That's the next too long now, isn't it? And given that I've just finished the 11th, yeah, it's a while ago. Let's just redo this. Stop doing that. It needs the rooster head flap. What? Oh, because Wyverns... I think it's... Yeah, I think that's the difference between Dragons and Wyverns. I've heard that before. Whether it's true, I don't know. It doesn't particularly matter. They're fictional. It's terrible. I'm losing my cognitive abilities. You get the idea. Who's buying what? Who? Oh, you gotta go. Well, thank you for coming along, Warlock. You're more than welcome to come back again in the future. But thanks for popping in. Wyvern's a dragon chicken, so what it needs the kind of. Hello, Benjamin. What have you missed? We killed some Deathhawks. There they are. It's Deathhawk 1, 2, and 3. We hid from a giant. And I think that's about it. Oh yeah, and we looked at some logs. We did that. And now we met a wyvern. Forgot about that bit. Wyvern's what Crow looks like when you say the word ice and hockey together. Yeah, and we are slowly discovering, and by discovering I mean reaffirming, our pre-existing belief that I have no idea how to draw dragons or wyverns. But this is kind of one of the reasons I wanted to do this, because it's, you know, I'm drawing things I would not otherwise draw. Oh, music's gotten loud again. That happens. Oh yes, music, as usual on these streams, comes courtesy of Adrian von Ziegler. Apologies for the pronunciation of your name. Whose music you can find on YouTube. They have a Patreon, they have all sorts of things. They just do sort of music you can use on streams and YouTube and all that sort of stuff for free, so long as you advertise that it was by them. And I'm perfectly happy to do so, because their music is very good. So yes, always... music by Adrian von Ziegler. In particular, we are currently listening to the sort of Celtic mix that he has on YouTube. Let me just have a look. Yes, 2 hours of Celtic music, part 2, in case you're interested in any of the background stuff. Yeah. Grown men searching for a dot while running into each other. What? What are we talking about? Oh, hockey. Yeah, fair enough. Give them sort of big spikes. Wyverns have spikes. Also spike here, why not? Some nose spikes. Knee spikes. Probably a little out of scale. Let me just sort that out. Yeah, probably closer. Yes, we love Crow. This is established fact. Why is iTunes open? That probably will help if I close that. Etc. What am I looking for? I'm looking for that. Cool. What have we got for the votes? We have become friends with the Wyvern through necklace. 1, devote our lives to the worship of our new Wyvern god. 1, toss shiny haul ass. 1, run the F away. Why the hell did you investigate the glimmer? WTF. And 1 for give Wyvern a shiny to appease it. So generally speaking, we're going to give something shiny. Two people say we're going to give something shiny. 1 suggests the necklace. Also I have to do the thing. Hang on, we picked up the silver band, if I recall. Cool, so I'll just add that to our inventory, should be fine. Right, so we are going to attempt to throw something shiny. What are we going to throw? By the looks of it, we are going to attempt to give it a shiny thing, but not run away immediately. Miss put good pal art in the Discord. Ooh, let me go see that. I closed Discord in order to appease Frame Man, but let's open it again. If I type D into my search bar, it just automatically goes, not to Discord in general, it goes to our main chat, which is quite cool. Cool. Now let me just go there. Let's get download that. Big, cool, save images. We could toss the silver band and curse the Wyvern. Throw silver band at it, then run. Yeah, come on, suggestions. What are we throwing? What are we throwing? Don't have to vote. Just chat at me, and then we can decide amongst ourselves. Coolio. And now I can do something else while we're chatting. Which hopefully you don't see. Should be fine. Do that there. This is a wonderful stream, isn't it? Just so entertaining. This is my mandatory mid-stream break. Don't worry about it. Okay, cool. So, now, away from that. Close this. What are we all talking about? Right. We're throwing silver band, gold bar. For a silver band, do we have the band, necklace, or bar for shiny? Yes. Yeah, we do. Those are the things. Throw the curse band, throw the band, hope for the best. You're in a door-kicking mood today, aren't you, Chib? For a hug it to death. Maybe. Probably, maybe just about wrap your arms around its neck. Maybe. Okay, so let me just have a little bit of a read so that I know what the sort of eventualities of these things are. Okay, cool. So, Slightly misleading sort of turn of phrase. You've been distracted. What did you miss? Wyvern. That's about it, really. Maybe it got a thorn in its paw. Who knows? I mean, it has been circling around in the sky up until now. But, if you can kick indoors, you dramatically tear apart curtains. Fair enough. Perhaps it needs love. Well, who knows? Because for the moment, I don't know what happened to my colours. That'll do for the moment. No, it won't. You throw the little band, which fortunately I now no longer have to draw a an item for. You're not entirely sure whether or not the Wyvern can read, but you probably would be grateful that it wouldn't be able to read the fact that it says death awaits you, because it might be construed as a threat. The Wyvern is unfazed by this, and proceeds to hurl another fireball your way. Roll for luck. 2d6. Unless, of course, you can improvise. You threw a band. Literally nothing happened. And now it's firing another fireball at you. No, well, that doesn't bode particularly well, does it? Give me a sec. Give me a sec. A lot of these paragraphs are just like, you could have included that somewhere else, it's fine. There's a lot of padding in this. Yeah, cool. So, right, so the fireball arrives. Is fired from the mouth of the thing. Where are all those highs when you were rolling for stats? I know, it's terrible. I mean, last time you rolled for luck, you got snake eyes. So, and it smashes right into you, knocking you to the ground, and you lose 4 stamina points. So let me just sort that out. Bingo bongo. And you lost your silver band. Easy come, easy go. Will you let me go? Boom. So yeah, you got smashed in the face with the fireball. Next. Honestly, that is really something you often have with these games. You throw either like garbage or super well, and just you can't do stuff in between. I can fill in the rest of the wing now. I don't know what's going on with the perspective of this thing. Should be like something like that. Nah, you get the idea. We have 1 vote for run, 1 vote for run away. I take it we're going to run away? Is it above a cave? It's above a recess in rocks. There's some bones sort of lying around here. Some scraps of rag. Shiny thing, whatever that was. 2 shiny things now. Because there's this shiny thing. Which will entice another adventurer to wander in here, not lackadaisically, foolhardily. You admire the thought, but running into somewhere that will funnel the flame after us is not a great idea. Run away and also release the bees. We didn't capture bees yet. You didn't consider attempting to capture bees in like an old flask of anything? You do have an old bottle, which you had the potion of plant control in, although I think that's full of water at the moment. So, yeah. We have one for run. We have one for bravely run away. Brave Sir Robin. We have one for run TF away. We have one for hug. Oh. One for why are we even fighting a wyvern in the first place, run. One for run away and also release the bees, and one for leg it. Change a plan. Leg it. I keep putting the book down without putting the bookmark in it. It's bad practice. Okie dokie. So, you decide to leg it. The wyvern chooses not to chase after you. Luckily. That would have been a bit of a problem. You know, it has a lair. It's looking after its lair. We're not fighting, that implies we have a chance. That's fair enough. And so you run away further and further north in order to try and escape it. I presume we want to run away north, yeah? That's where we want to go. Just keep going north. Or you could run into the forest for cover. You're still in the forest, but it's definitely clearing at this point. You're running towards civilization. You could also take this opportunity once you get out of sight of the wyvern to take a little bit of a break and have some provisions. If you so desire, provisions restore 4 health, remember? Just so you know. Yeah, we're running north. Cool. So, yeah. Brave Sir Pal ran away. I won't draw the running away. So let's draw. So that's on the map. Running into a forest with a fire-breathing creature after you is the greatest idea. I mean, it'll get rid of the forest. Living trees are harder to burn, at least. This is Darkwood Forest. These things don't burn easily. I like the idea that you take the opportunity of getting hit by the fireball to reignite your torch. So Pal needs to buy a shield, possibly. Yeah, might be helpful. Right. Do you wanna eat a provision or do you wanna carry on? Just willy nilly. Because as you're travelling north, you're getting closer and closer to civilization. You can see the smoke coming from the chimneys of Stonebridge, or what you presume to be Stonebridge. You hear the moving of agricultural equipment and horses. Can't quite hear the voices of people yet, because you're not that close to the actual civilization. You're just near farmsteads and such. Eat some bread, eat a bit of toast. We can eat some toast. Let's do that. Eat some pudding. I mean, you can have like a bread pudding. You'd need something else with it. It wouldn't be just bread. Yeah. 1 wyvern blast equals a loaf of bread. Sorted. Bingo. Right. Had some bread. You had 7 loads of bread left. Eat 2 pieces of toast. Unfortunately, you can only eat 1 at a time. So, because standing still in one place for too long in the Darkwood Forest is not a good idea. The forest is not particularly pleased with. Eat a lobe of bread. What? Is Pal on a diet? Look, you try eating 2 loaves of bread in one go, and then try doing that when the loaf is technically twice as big as what it would be normally, because Pal is small. Do not accept that challenge, Jubes, please. Do not eat 2 large loaves of bread. It's a good thing I'm not gluten intolerant at the very least. We continue north. Walking along the narrow path, trying to brush out the burn marks as best they can from the from their coat. They suddenly hear the sharp crack of a twig breaking and whispering low voices. Pal anxiously awaits the sound of whatever this noise is, but before they can actually do anything, from behind the trees opposite, step 4 men and a woman, dressed in green tunics. They look menacing and they stand with swords and axes in their hands. The young woman steps forward and tells you that you are trespassing on their territory and you must pay a hefty levy of 5 objects from your backpack or face the consequences. So you've been ganged up on. Yes, we were walking through and we have been ambushed by 5 people from the trees who say we're trespassing and that we need to give them 5 items before that we can pass. You were too busy reading bread, chat. 5 bandits. Well, not bandits, but people... A band of people, that's what I meant to say. Including a young woman and 4 men with axes and swords. I've got to draw 5 people now, haven't I? Who are demanding that we give them items. Or is demanding Pal give them items in order to pass forwards. They will not accept 5 coins. They want 5 objects of seeming worth. Hello, me? What? Who? What? Hello? What? The music's quiet again. Why is it always quiet? Draw a 5-headed 1 body. During a morning, robber masks and give 1 a ponytail. Okay, fair enough. This one's wearing a tricorn. Because why not? They sort of go in, don't they? Women have long hair. That's how you can tell. And eyelashes. Actually, no, this is one of the male people. I'll draw the female one later. Nope, music's back. What am I to do with the what? Is she wearing a gamer dress? I would not venture to guess what's happening underneath the clothes, and they probably wouldn't be too happy about me asking, to be honest. Stop being annoying, Photoshop. Stop it. Thank you. Right. What are we talking about? Oops. You can have like just sort of small dagger. Curved dagger. And you can have cucumber. Right. What do we got? Toll. Here we are. Don the boots of leaping and jump over them away into the village. 2, lure them to Wyvern. 1, tell them of the treasure near the cave. 1, lure them to Wive. And 1, tell them the treasure the Wyvern has and sneak away. Right, so generally speaking, people want to attempt to lure the lure to Wyvern. So Pal attempts to mention, oh, there's, I've just been back there. There's a cave that I went past. Unfortunately, I don't have the space in my backpack to pick everything up, and it's just there's a lot of treasure back there. It's very interesting. To which the bandits go, look, we're not stupid. We've been here for a very long time. We know exactly what's back there, and we're not going any further. But you're not going any further unless you give me stuff, or unless you give us stuff. Be grateful that we're not going to take that as an act of aggression. Might as well draw some scenery. So, the trees are thinning out here. We're sort of getting very near the edge of the forest, but they're still present. You can see sort of light shining through at this point. I don't know what's going on with this perspective. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I believe I said 5 items from the backpack that they will actually take. As being significant, which is why we couldn't do just 5 pieces of gold. You're more than welcome to attempt to convince them that the clay pieces are significant. The music is just occasionally non-existent. I know for anyone who's watching these streams like in post, like maybe once we finish these and they're all archived and thought, oh, here's the series that I missed or whatever, I'll watch these from the start. I complain about music in every single one of these videos, so my apologies for that. It's just so inconsistent. Yeah, sorry, Crow. You attempted to lure them back to the Wyvern, but they've been around here long enough to know that there is a Wyvern and that they're not going any further. What's this? Doing a thing. What is that? I think that's like Mario or something. Ah, the music has returned. What have we got? We have 5 votes for 4 shards of clay and a bottle of water. Right. You hand over the 4 shards of clay and the bottle of water, and the bandits go, are you serious? You think this is going to pass? You just giving us some broken ceramics and a bottle? I don't even know what's in this bottle. Why do you think we're going to take this? What do you say? Do you want to attempt to convince them? Do you want to... Because you look dumb. I don't think that's going to go down particularly well. I'm going to give you a longer coat because longer coats are cool. The one that goes up at the back. What do we got? You look dumb. Clay, water, hammer, rods of water detection, and arrows. Oh, whoops, too late. Well, you can always put more suggestions forward if we decide not to, or if the convincing does not work. We heard that the shards once put together can make a map leading some treasure, something like that. You can convince them that the bottle contains a potion that they can change the ceramics into gold, but it only works if it's a very delicate spell, full moon, chanting, etc. It's an idea. Don't you know the legend of these clay shards? You find the final one, you can unlock their true power. In fact, I know a song about them. Pulls out recorder. I like that, that's fun. Okay, we're going to go with that one because it's fun. And because I haven't actually set it to a vote, but nonetheless it was a vote. Okay, so you pull out the shards in the water and they go, you serious? What is this? And you say precisely that, and Pal just starts dooting on a recorder. The bandits are looking on in confusion, watching this goblin just playing a recorder in front of them, slightly wary as to whether or not this is a trap. They mumble amongst themselves as Pal starts playing the recorder, and they're like, okay, look, we get it. You don't have much on you. We've gathered this by the fact that you attempt to fob us off with clay and then try to play a recorder. Okay, give us a couple of things. It doesn't need to be 5, just I'm sure you got something good. You're clearly down on your luck. You're clearly not the adventurer we thought you were. Just stop dooting and give us something. A hammer and a smile. That sounds like, I suppose a euphemism is the right word, but, still playing? Oh, the music has ended. So let's go to another Adrian von Ziegler video. Part 1 of the Celtic music. Five smooches. So yeah, they weren't taking the clay. I suppose they were fine with the bottle because they don't really know what's in it. And the bottle does look, you know, it's a peculiar bottle. It used to have the potion of plant control in it, so... But they definitely weren't impressed with the clay. Oh, blimey, it's the end of the stream. That's fine, we can do this and then see what happens. They gave you the bottle of water back. That's fine. I should probably sort of add that back in, but I'll do that later. Okay, so what have we got? We have some of these are left over from last time. Hammer and divining rods, but ask for the bottle of water back. Give them a smooch. Give them a hammer and rods. Hammer and the water rods. Hammer and the water rods. Hammer. Okay, so we hand over the hammer and the water rods. You say, okay, here's a couple of things that I sort of found as I was going through. Hopefully this will do. The bandits don't look particularly pleased with their haul, but they have come to the conclusion that you really don't have anything better on you. So they just say, okay, fine, we'll take this. It's all right. We'll let you through. Hang on, let me look at the passage for what actually happens at this particular scenario, so that I can make this accurate. Okay, so you hand over the items to the bandit leader, the woman at the front, because they are bandits indeed, and they allow you to pass somewhat ungratefully, but nonetheless they do it anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't, I wouldn't do that, Crow. And so Pal heads north again, slightly despondent that they lost their rods of water finding, or whatever they were called, and a hammer. And Pal heads north again and soon begins to notice that the trees are thinning out around the path. Eventually the path leads out of the forest. You are finally clear of Darkwood Forest. And up ahead you start to see a stone bridge over a clear stream. Beyond the bridge are small cottages and wooden huts of a village. A sign on the bridge reads, Stonebridge, unsurprisingly. You cross the bridge and see two old dwarves with long white beards standing by a cottage looking at you. You presume that these are the people who are probably trying to wait for Big Leg to come back with the hammer. I think we'll leave it there for the moment. For the stream, we have made it to Stonebridge. Right. Under the bridge troll, across bridge, 3 goats. Yeah, so we are in Stonebridge. Here were some bandits. We're in Stonebridge and we have literally nothing we set out to get. So there's a tri-corner. We've made it all the way from the start to the end. Right. Cool. Let's end the stream. Thank you everyone for coming along. I think there's some fun drawings done today, which is quite nice. I've sort of last time realised that I was just drawing, going through the motions and not really doing anything fun, which is why I did that sneaking picture with him holding up the curtain. Oh, sorry, them holding up the curtain. Apologies, I keep slipping into that. My apologies. Oh no, yeah, they're looking for a big warhammer. They're looking for something with a bronze head and an ebony handle. Ours was a little wooden hammer that he used as a gremlin was using to smash a clay hand for some reason. So yeah, there was some fun stuff. That's my favourite. That's my favourite drawing of the day. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming along. Let's go to the thing. Oh, look at that. Yes, thanks everyone for coming along. We have now forged one whole path from the beginning of the game to Stonebridge, from Yastromo's Tower to Stonebridge, and there's plenty of stuff in between that we've missed, because in particular we've missed the things we were looking for. So yeah. You shared the horse pick with Warlock and he loved it. Don't do... No, I said don't. So yeah, thank you for coming along. Thanks for making it fun. Apologies for slight slow start. Lots of crossroads as usual. I'm trying to work out ways of making crossroads interesting. So for example, when we got to the giant, There's no mention of anything to do with a giant or cut down trees or anything like that. I just wanted to add something to make it feel like you kind of had an idea as to what's coming up next, or could get, you know, an idea that there's something nearby. Some sort of life. You know, just trying to make the world a bit more interesting, and while we're waiting to work out whether to go north or south. There's only so many times I can say north or south before you guys get fed up and stop paying attention, which is fair enough. Although next time we do have to backtrack somewhere. we can spend a bit of time in Stonebridge, but eventually we've got to go back in. Or you can end the adventure there if you want. We made it through and we got some gold. Let's go. You've already kicked my door in once, Jim. It's going to fall off soon. Thank you, but doors are expensive. Right. Right. Yeah. So tomorrow, XCOM. Not tomorrow. The next stream. There's 2 days away before that. My brain is melting. Tomorrow is a Foggate comic. That's a thing. I still haven't quite finished that, but I finished the art. I just need to do the... No, there is no text on this one. Oh, so I have finished it. Never mind. I have finished that one. I forgot there's no text on this one. I'm quite pleased with how the first couple of panels for the next comic came out. You'll see why later. I tried to stylize things a bit. When you say tears apart curtains, do you mean like pulling them apart as like two separate curtains, or you are literally ripping them? And Weird just turns around and goes, there is an opening, you know. So you come to a crossroads. I impale myself on the sign. Don't do that. If it's the sign of Mrs. First drawing, or I suppose second drawing, because there was the introductory one and then the one from the first stream. Good luck impaling yourself on that. You won't be able to go far in before you hit another sign. So. Nah, Ripsum, you ain't got nice things no more. Oh, I will buy you more curtains. Don't worry. One day you'll be able to do that idea justice. You did that idea justice. Well, not don't do the idea of impaling yourself on a sign justice if that's what you're talking about. But your skills are wonderful, miss. Every piece you've done has been great. And I agree, lightning is hard. One thing I will say, it's sort of an interesting thing that it's not lightning necessarily, but electricity, is if you have the center of it, sort of like the main light of the center be white, but then around it be a glow of maybe blue or yellow. I like to do that with neon lights as well. It just makes it seem like when a light gets strong enough, it just kind of turns white in your eyes. Allow, thank you, Automod. So yeah, it's a little bit of advice if you need it. But other than that, you know, certainly I love the cape. The detail on the cape's like Gale from Dark Souls 3. And you're still getting all those badges that I forget are there, and the buckle with the star and the recorder. It's cool stuff, miss. Very, very cool. You do one of these every week. It's amazing. Thank you. You can see it in your mind's eye, you just can't replicate it yet. It's fair enough. You know, that is the process of doing art for me. It's like, I know what it is I'm trying to do. Why isn't it working? Lightning was so lazily done. Look, it's weekly art. There is no such thing as lazy when it comes to weekly art. Lazy would be, I will do this weekly art and I will release one a year. Like, yeah, don't kick in everyone's door. Like, I think Pink is working on a mural on their door, so don't kick that one in. My door's fine, probably. Although don't kick it too far because I've got stuff behind it. Luckily you can blather at people and they can turn your ideas into reality. Wonderful. Yeah. I'm sure there was something else I was going to say. Anyway, Saturday XCOM. We continue with that. Remember that the XCOM streams begin at 6:30 my time, which is just half an hour earlier than usual, and they end half an hour later. We are currently in the middle of an Exalt mission to retrieve Alex, if I recall. Yeah. Who's going to Scotland? What? I mean, I'm perfectly happy to go to Scotland if it involves seeing Miss. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I want to go to Scotland anyway, so it seems like a pleasant place, depending on where you go, of course. Nice hills and scenery, and cooler weather. Anywhere further away from the equator is a good thing for me. You join the door kicking. A lot of door kicking going on. We're the door kickers. We are the door kickers. The reference to a song I haven't heard in years and don't really like. I'll happily we'll have our first see some locks. Nice. Nothing hurts you as much as one of your IRL friends not wanting to go to Scotland with you. Oh. You are more than adequate. You are exceeding adequate. Adequate is an insult to you, miss. It should be. Anyway, have a wonderful time, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Appreciate compliments when they are given, because they are given in sincerity. We do tend to exaggerate slightly, but usually when it comes to compliments, they wouldn't be as exaggerated if they weren't heartfelt. So I like the idea of that, carefully closing it, then kicking. Not locks. Loch, sorry. Loch. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. I'll see you all in the Discord. Be good, be kind. Chibi Nether's Days tomorrow, I presume. Assuming technical issues permitting. You're not compliment fishing. I know you're not compliment fishing. We are fish explicitly jumping out into your boat. It doesn't matter whether you've got a rod or not. We want to say hello. Yes, Chibi Nether's Days. Tomorrow, Chibi Netherlands. I do host those on my channel if anybody is not familiar, but you can always just click on the green name in chat, Chibi Netherlands, and give them a follow because the streams are very, very good. You're going to draw some animals. Marvellous. Drawing streams. Hurrah. So, yeah. Have a wonderful time. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy some Celtic music to play out. And yeah, Chibi Nether's Days tomorrow, and then I suppose Friday is the Drawthrough streams, and Saturday is XCOM. Marvellous. And Sunday is a wild card I have not planned, but I have the SSS comic to do, as well as some other miscellaneous drawing before that. So I'm not going to want to draw. I have so much drawing this week. So much. It all came at once. Take care. Have fun, everyone. Enjoy yourselves. Be good. Be kind. Goodbye.